How was he
Congratulations,
supposed to cope?
Upset. Your Draven was epic.
Definitely was.
It was epic indeed, Upset, and it was actually the first time you ever played the champion. So what made you pick this champion this time around, and how come we never saw you play Draven before?
Well, at the start of me playing, I didn't really play much Draven, but I figured I should probably start playing it because there's no reason not to play it, and in some situations it's like a decent counter pick, like for example in this game. Even though we couldn't snowball the lane too much 2v2 or anything, it still worked out really well because you're just so strong in the fights. And I think in a lot of the skirmishes, having a really strong champ was important versus Kalista, so she can't snowball herself.
Yeah.
And yeah, worked out really well.
Yeah, and having the Morgana to back you up also. Quick question about this, because you've been playing for so long, but I'm wondering how difficult is it to get rid of your habits and like try and play new champions after such a long time?
Well, it's not so difficult to play the champ for me, but playing competitive is always really different than solo queue. Like, I was playing Draven like before on solo queue always, and it felt like pretty good, but playing it on stage is always different because the games tend to be a lot slower, and it's a champ that works with kills really well. But I guess if your jungle plays volleyball like this, it doesn't really matter too much because you get the kills anyways.
It was an amazing game from you, which got you to be in the player of the game poll, siding with Hylissang and Wonder. Who should get it?
Oof, I think Marek entered a little bit, but all the others played super good. So it's really hard to say if it should be Ivan, Wunder, or Hilly.
All right.
Or me. But probably, I think Ivan carried the early game the hardest, and Wunder was really good in team fights. So I don't know. No vote is wrong, I think.
We'll just let Twitter do their things and pick. But focusing more on New and Fnatic, in Euphoria earlier this week, Yamato said that after you guys lost in spring, you guys realized that you were missing foundation as a team. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, I think our practice has not been too great for how good the players are on our team. I think we definitely need to work a lot on building the basics and not just rely on everyone being really good individually. And I think it's been going much better, this split, in terms of focusing on what we can improve as a team and not just the individual parts. So yeah, I think it makes sense.
Now, when you think of the state of the league itself, so many teams made roster changes between spring and summer, but I know that Dylan Falco said recently in an interview with Tom from Einvern that it's really hard to guess even who's going to make it to Worlds this year because teams are so much stronger. Do you agree on that? And how do you expect the level in EU is going to rise?
Yeah, I think the level is pretty high, but I would still expect us and G2 to make it to Worlds, for sure. But I guess for the third team, it's really hard to say.
All right, we'll see about that. Still a split ahead of us. Upset, thank you so much for the interview. Amazing performance on Draven once again. And we're going to take one quick break and we'll come back in